Hello and happy new moon, everybody. Oh, and what a beautiful new moon energy and day this is. I really do love the weather that we've been having here lately has been very gloomy. And I do love that on this new moon, as we're heading into the summer solstice energy, it is the first clear day that we've had in a long time. And even though I love the gloominess, I love that June gloom and May gray, I will say it is very nice to see a beautiful blue sky and see my kitty boys basking in the sunlight through the window. I think it's just wonderful. So happy new moon and happy pre-summer solstice. May the return of the light be a beautiful one for you. And so I'm going to pull a card for us for this new moon energy, but I want to talk a little bit first about good things to do with a new moon, right? With the new moon, I love to plant new seeds. And so with the different phases of the moon, I usually work with different elements. So on a full moon, right, when it's like that full power, I usually go to the ocean. I like to work with water because if you think about, how the moon affects the waves and creates these amazing waves in this vast mother ocean that we have, that we're lucky enough to have on this beautiful earth. If you think about how much the moon affects that water, it's going to affect us too, right? Because we are mostly made out of water. So I usually go to the ocean and work with the water element during a full moon and really go into, if it's not too crazy and cold, I will literally go in the water and plant my seeds that way, like visioning into the water, like going past where the waves are breaking and just kind of float in the ocean, going up and down with the energy of that ocean. So that's on the full moon. But today what we have, or actually tomorrow what we have, is the new moon. And so with the new moon, I like to work with the earth element, right? Because it's all about planting the new seeds of intention, even sometimes weeding out that garden before we plant the new seed. So with new moons, I work with earth. So I will go out hiking. I will do planting magic. I will literally, if I don't have time to go out into nature to go find a tree or a trail, I'll just go out, to a park, take a walk on the streets outside my house and, connect with the trees there, or even just go weed my garden, like literally go weed my garden outside of my house. There's many different ways that you can use that new moon energy to help literally plant things within your life. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the most sacred place that I have within the earth element. And I'm actually offering to take you guys with me to my most sacred tree. It's the tree that the Healing Woods is actually named after. And so this tree has helped me manifest basically the life I'm leading right now, which is finally one that I am really 100% on board with celebrating. Love. I am so grateful for the life that I've created. And there's many other things I want to change and do and be within life, but I am 100% happy and just like grateful with where I am today. And this tree has really helped with the manifesting, the healing, the visioning, all of the things that it took to be right where I am today talking to you. And so I met this tree in my 20s, my early 20s. It was one of my first ventures up to Humboldt County on my own without parents taking me. It was my first road trip all the way up and down the coast. And this was a very, I wasn't as peaceful and bright as I am today. It was a very dark period of my life. And I just remember driving up and down, there's a beautiful road called Avenue of the Giants in Humboldt County. And these redwoods, I mean, so huge, so beautiful. and I'm just crying. I'm like literally like tears, just screaming in my car, like needing to release the fear, the anger, the self-hatred, like all of these things that I was feeling in my 20s. And all of a sudden my car pulls over. There's no trail sign, there's no parking lot. My car just pulled over. And I decided I need to walk. I need to get out of my car. And so I found a little tiny trail that didn't even have like a sign or anything. And I just started walking, and I was like, just like wailing basically in the woods, which if you look at blogs and stories people write about the redwoods, that tends to happen a lot. When a human walks into the majesty and power of these redwood forests, these 3,000-year-old trees, some of them, you can't help but start weeping. But I was already weeping because I had a lot going on. But then I just started weeping more. And that's when I found my tree. And again, this tree pulled me. Like there was no map to tell me where to park and where to go to find my tree. My tree pulled me almost like a magnet to her. And at that moment, I crawled inside of her. These redwoods are massive. Like the hole within her trunk is about the size of one of my bedrooms at my house. I mean, these trees are massive. And that was the beginning of this amazing relationship where I promised her every time I go to Humboldt County, every time I'm driving, even if I'm just passing through, I will come and I will say hello to you. I will do Reiki with you, in you, and I will just be in your presence. And every year, I start my trip to Humboldt with her, and I end it. The very last thing I do is I go to see her. And what do I do in my tree? I cry, I meditate, I pray, I write, I sing, I do readings for myself, I do Reiki grids with crystals, and every year I leave her flowers. I leave her a bouquet of flowers. And when I come back, what's beautiful, usually when I come back like a year later, those flowers are still there, and they're, dried and preserved inside of her trunk. So this tree and I go way back. One of the magical things that happened within her was I was really working on loving myself where I was, not when I lost weight or when my life was better or when the healing woods became, successful so I didn't have to have a day job. Like I was working on just loving who I am today. And this was about in my 30s, probably 10 years into working with the tree. And so I did this whole thing inside her trunk, and then I went into town. I went into the main square of Arcata, California, which is super tiny, but it's like the hub. It's where people hang out. There's bars, there's restaurants. And so I'm walking, and at this point, like inside, I'm hating how I look. I'm not liking who I am, but I'm just trying to get through each day, right? And so I just did this beautiful, healing within myself, within that redwood. And I'm walking, and all of a sudden this woman who I think is Janis Joplin reincarnate, like seriously, she yells from across the square. She's like, "Hey, you with the tattoos." And I look and I'm like, "Hi, crazy woman yelling at me." And she's like, "I just want you to know that you're beautiful just as you are right now." And that was literally what I focused on in my tree. So that was my tree speaking to me through that woman. And this happened, 20 years ago, and I still get, tears still come through me because that is just one of the ways in which my tree has spoken to me, that it hears me. It is a portal to the universe, right? To God, to Goddess, to your ancestors, to whoever you work with within redwoods, within this nature. It goes directly to your source, whoever that is. So I am opening up my my tree to help others because it has just really helped me in so many different ways. So I will be, talking more about that, posting links. I'll put the link at the end of, or at the bottom of this video so you can get into that Redwood Magic for the next new moon. I am only there once a year, so I can only do this offer once a year, where I'm literally in the tree for you, focused on your intention, creating a Reiki grid within the tree, and burning you a candle, not in the tree, but when I get home, burning you a candle in a safe place where I stay when I'm in Humboldt County. So anyway, back to this new moon, to today's or tomorrow's new moon. I am going to pull us a card for what energy we should be working with, what we should be open to, perhaps help from the universe with this. So let's see what we get. All right. Oh, beautiful. We have the 10 of coins. And so those of you who study Kabbalah, you can kind of see that these coins are in the tree of life formation. And how perfect that I just cried and talked about my tree of life. Like, that redwood has been my tree of life for over 20 years. And how beautiful that we get this card to show us, like, work with that earth energy, right? The coins in the tarot are the earth element. So bring whatever you are focused on for this new moon, bring it into the earth somehow. Work with the earth, or grounding it in your life in a real way. It's kind of the card of like payout, wealth, abundance, making it real in the earth. Like, yes, we need to dream about it. We need to take action on things, and we also need to ground it in a real way in the earth. So what is a way, something to think about with whatever you're intending for this new moon, is how can you bring it into reality? What steps can you take in a real, tangible way, beyond meditation, beyond, visioning, beyond all that important stuff, right? That's how we kind of start our manifestation. But how do we bring it into the here and now? All right, guys, I'm going to go dry my eyes. Happy new moon, and I'm sending you guys a lot of love, and be on the lookout for the new moon Redwood Magic that's going to be happening next month, and I can't wait to connect with you guys in that beautiful tree.